You have not lightning rod, Iris.
Girl's gotta be her own hero every now and again.
I make the toys, man.
I love you.
To me, you've been dead for centuries.
I am the future. Fly.
Why Iris West mattered.
Hi everybody, welcome to Three Pipeline. My name is Jade. It's our second episode. We're so excited to bring it to you. Oh, just wanted to say that I'm so thankful for all the wonderful responses we've had in our first episode. It's crazy.
Yes.
We're so thankful.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you.
you. Love you. You're amazing. We stand
Thank
you.
you.
Guys. Oh, okay. So, really excited to bring this episode to you. And just want to say before we start that we're missing two members this week, Skye and Amanda. They will hopefully be here next episode. We really miss them, but we understand that they can't be here today, but we love them and we hope you guys are okay. Okay, so we're going to start with Drea. She wasn't here last episode, but she's here now and she wants to talk about herself a bit, so we're going to give her the time to. All right, Drea, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Drea, resident train wreck. It's and I started watching the show. It was like mid-season 2. It was like in the winter hiatus. And if you hear a banging, that's my dog in the background. I'm sorry. She's and my friend, I was visiting my friend, and she's like, "Will you watch this show with me? The main actor is really hot." And I was like, "Okay." And then we started watching, and I was hooked. And
Yeah. And
I'm really excited to be here, and thanks for having me.
we're happy to have you. Like, we missed you, girl. We love you. We're happy to have you. And, yes. Okay. So, next person we're going to give a platform to is Sel. She wasn't here last week, and we're really happy. And, yeah. She has the cutest voice, guys. I just want to point this out. It's, like, so sweet and soft, and we love her. She hates that we just said that, but I just said it, so it's fine.
Alright. Well, hi, I'm Celeste or Cel or whatever. I started watching the show in season 1. I watched the pilot, and I've been just a big fan ever since. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I always wanted to do something like this, so this seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It is really fun. I really enjoy it. It definitely puts like a spirit in my Thursdays that are usually typically pretty boring if I'm not sleeping or eating, one of those two things. So, all right, I think
sleep. Sleep
Yeah.
is good, guys.
yeah, we know. Okay, so we're gonna start with the first question. As many of you know, we are currently going through what we like to call the West Island drought, and I think it'd be beneficial for all of us to describe how that makes us feel and what the West Island drought is to us. So describe the West Island drought in your own words, Sab.
Guys, welcome to the great 2019 West Island drought. This has just been the saddest thing I've ever seen. We used to get fed so much that we didn't even consider that we would be one of those people that were begging for a little hand holding there and a little side hug, even for them to be in the same room together. Guys, we sound like those people that we're not gonna name, but girl, we are really out here talking about some, you know what? They wear similar clothes. You know what? They looked at each other. Like, this is just heartbreaking. That's all I have to say. It's heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
Awful.
Alymah?
Yes,
like deserve this. We just don't. We don't deserve this. And I would like to know who keeps cutting out the West Island moments because, like, if I gotta give you $2 for you to put it in, I will. Like, that's not a problem. Just like let me know, sis. Like, I got you.
Alymah?
Yep. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
We can hear you fine.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
It's okay.
So, I agree with that, and it's painful, hurtful, it's a torture, and like she said, honestly, we took it for granted. Because even though we have some issue with the writing, I think West Island was still very, very well written in the show. And like those moments between the both of them is like so cute, and we really took it for granted, and now we are suffering so bad. And Like it's funny because like the fandom even came with the joke that they are divorced, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I feel.
like I miss them. I really do miss them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Me
I
too.
I
know.
think it hurts the show a little bit,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
So I hope they will fix it very,
Mm.
very quickly. So
Oof, let's hope. Sal, what do you think?
All right, so I'm just gonna start off by saying West Allen was the one couple I thought that I would always get content from because like every other couple that I ship or like I really like, they're always leaving me hanging dry. But the fact that West Allen has came to that point has been very hard for me
Mm,
because I
true.
feel
literally
that.
have like no couple content whatsoever in my fictional world. So I just think it kind of sucks and it doesn't really make sense of why this season was supposed to be about family.
Yes.
I don't really have words to describe it. It just doesn't really make sense to me. So.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yes.
Drea?
I don't like it either. I think it's annoying. And honestly, I remember when the whole like divorce joke started, I like hadn't seen the episode yet, and so I was like, did they actually get divorced? And then I saw like, oh, pretty much. So I'm like very annoyed that we got like West Allen the movie, that one episode, and now we're like,
Yes.
That episode was
true.
epic though. Epic.
now
Iconic.
555 was taste, guys.
Yes.
we got that, and then they were like, you had enough, and it's enough. And like,
Yes.
for his last season, and this season seems like the one that they need one. So
Yes. The
Because-
only way they can make this up to us is to give us a vow renewal.
Yes.
Yes.
We deserve.
Period.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
also, speaking of vows, they said that like you know how Iris had her like written vows.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
They said that it was going to come back. That
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
I know.
and I'm
I'm
like, where is
waiting.
that? That's the
One.
way
Wait, oh my god, I just had an idea. Oh my god, okay, so what if in the future, like Iris still has the vows, but like she's like looking at the paper and like remembering Barry. Boom.
Oh yeah, or like what if she pulls like a
I'm
Grey's
ready.
Anatomy thing?
Yeah.
Oh, don't talk
Yeah.
about Derek. I'm still healing. Don't trigger me. This is hurtful. I don't deserve
I'm
this.
sorry, but that's the first thing that popped up in my head was the.
I know,
sticky
I
note.
know. And now chasing cars is playing in my head, and I'm ready
Oh
to
my
cry.
God.
Oh my god.
Context, traumatized, triggered.
Honestly, our minds, guys. Okay. Ashley, do you
Yeah,
want to talk about it?
This drought is driving me crazy. I just want them to rip up those divorce papers
Oh.
and get back together
It'd be great.
because we are starving and
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Mood.
Alyssa. Alyssa.
Yes. Okay. It's like dry and oh my god.
Sis, wake up.
You need a moment, sis.
Okay. It's dry and I don't get how we expect how's Noah gonna get conceived is what I'm trying to see. It makes no sense. And I'm gonna need to see the scene when Noah gets conceived. Like I'm just
Let me stop playing. Show us the damn scenes. We're ready.
I just,
We ain't ever gonna get that. Y'all know that, right? That ain't ever gonna happen.
I know.
it's gonna happen as long as Todd leaves and air comes in.
I mean, the last romantic interaction they had was a kiss on the cheek for like, and it was like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah! Wow, we
Yeah.
did
I
get
didn't
that.
I didn't even get to see that live because my TV cut out. So
Ooh.
that was
Aw.
very disappointing.
I didn't even catch that actually. Like I
Yeah.
barely saw it.
I know. I literally didn't.
Yeah.
Even... Okay. All right.
Ugh.
Ugh. So the West Allen drought for me. Whew. Okay. So basically, for me, it definitely feels like Barry and Iris are literally shells of their former selves, as you guys, most of you guys talked about. There's like they still are obviously married and living together, but even when they're in the same room together, you don't like. It just feels like even that one scene they had where he brought her the paper. They're just like it didn't, not that, because they still have chemistry, honestly, but it just didn't feel organic because they hadn't been together for so long, so it just felt, like, weird. I really
It's
wish...
unnatural.
Yeah.
It's just not. Barry's always touching her. He always trying to mess around with her. Like, he don't care. Love is their touch language. Like, what's going on?
Where's it at then? Because
yeah, low-key, Barry's a little freaky, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this.
Low-key, freaky. Remember when you thought she was suggesting some other wild stuff? Like, this boy really got high. He was like,
That was looking really funny.
It was.
Anyways, yeah, we miss things like that. We miss like interactions like that. Those things, even those little aspects of them just being like the humor, like that stuff. That's the stuff that I miss, and I wish we could see more of. Or what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, to me, I really miss, or just like the kind of like how they were best friends before, you know, and like I felt like they felt more married in season 1 and 2 when they weren't actually married than they do now.
Yeah.
And the fact that their daughter is in the present and they still don't act married is very concerning.
It is concerning. Yeah.
And I love seeing their friendship. Like,
I do.
Yeah. Where they went to Nora's mind and they were like in the Flash Museum gift store and he was like joking around. Like,
that was so cute.
Yeah, like,
I love seeing that.
Stuff that I miss.
Yes. I want to see them go on. Sorry. Remember in season 1 how they always used to go on like adventures together? I want to see that again.
Yes.
I want to see them just laughing and, you know, just being in love. This season just sucks.
Yeah. Like, this season makes me so stressed for them. Every 5 seconds, I'm stressed. Every minute, I'm stressed. Yeah, it's like, ugh.
I think the reason I'm so stressed about this season, though, is like the Flash has this habit of being like having really bad stretches and then bringing in really amazing moments.
Yeah.
I know they can do better, and I'm waiting for them to do better.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like they know that an episode wasn't good, so they're like, okay, let's make up for it. Let's like do this thing that's like amazing. Like, let's have this amazing scene, and then like we're gonna give you a mediocre episode next episode. But then like you had this amazing moment you guys can be talking about for 3 weeks, but then like, you know, we'll have this other episode to make you like to have the show there. And I think that happened quite often during the season. There were a couple episodes that like
even last season.
Yeah.
Yes.
For example, we're waiting a long time to see how Devil was the most powerful guy, the most intelligent guy, and like I wasn't convinced at all. But at the I think it was episode 18 when he went to Argus and this scene was amazing. He used all his powers, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to see all along, you know. But why? You have to wait until episode 18. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I think the problem is also the writers. They're not very comfortable in writing for non-speedsters because they have a very narrow mind. And even with the speedsters, unless it's really like Tom they're writing for, then they don't really give that much material to work with either. That's true. So the problem is just in the writing, I think, and like just backstage, because the actors and the actresses can carry a scene. Well, some of the actresses,
some of them,
a scene. It's just they need to be giving the right material to portray it. Then if they don't, then they can't do that.
That's true.
Yes. Yeah. But it's also like beyond writers. It's the show creators who like don't always give the writer something to work with.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the writers get a lot of flack, but like the writers don't necessarily come up with these plots. They just write them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. That's true.
They're given a crappy plot. They like.
Yeah. They are like
they make it work.
They do make it work. So you gotta give it to them. They do make what they're given work. I think that hopefully with Eric coming on, that there's gonna be, because Eric, I think that I like about Eric, I think that's really great about him is that he's also a writer. So he's been in that position. He's been in that writer's room when they've been given crappy plots and like, okay, what are we gonna do with this plot we've been given that's awful and we have no idea what we're gonna write. So I think he knows how to go about that best with making sure that the idea for the episode comes across well, because he can communicate with them in the way that maybe Todd couldn't. So I think that that's really great for him, not only to be a writer but to also be a black man and producer. Like he knows he fills in all the gaps that we need to make the show better. So that's all. I think that's what we need, and hopefully that's what happens. And I think that really ties well into our next question. So why do you think being parents has no impact on Josiel romantically but affects Alice in such a jarring way? Anyone like Ugh, Sal, when you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, first, I can just say, does baby Jenna even exist anymore? Like, we haven't even seen her. Like, we've only seen her, like, what, once or twice this season, and that was in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like that baby, or whatever she is now, is kind of non existent at this point. So, I feel like maybe that's why it's a little easier for them to write romantically for Josiel.
That's true.
I don't know why it wouldn't affect Jones' seal, but it is affecting West Allen. That doesn't really make any sense. That's where I feel like they blurred the lines with that, because if Joe and Cecile can still have these, little cute moments, then why is it gonna hurt to put 5 seconds in there of West Allen, or like a little bit? At this point, I would be happy with just holding hands or a hug.
Honestly, anything that I could get, like literally, like a high in each other's direction will make me like swoon.
Yeah, like when they
lose it.
Imagine, I mean, at this point, when they even share scenes together, I just get excited because I'm like, I haven't seen you guys together in a long time. And now you're both here.
Honestly, at this point, I will not accept a hug. I expect like a full-on sex scene at this point.
Like, girl in your dream, you know damn well. Yeah.
Like, honestly, like when he first waves at her, I like imagine if my man waved at me. Whew, I'd lose it. Like, just they need to give us like just feed us, like just. Okay, Sab, go ahead.
I think the problem stemmed from them seeing Barry and Iris as this young couple that needs to live this like life that's always adventurous and stuff. But for Joe and Cecile, they already lived their life. They're just settling down with this newborn. So I feel like it's easier for them to show that they're still romantic while not showing the baby. However, that's the same thing can be said for West Allen because they are still young. So you should be having scenes with them with Nora doing fun stuff, going bowling to their favorite place. Like
the bowling alley. Oh my god.
I want to see that list play out.
I want to see that. I want to see Barry trying to teach Nora and Iris how to drive a car. I want to see that dynamic.
Yes.
Without Team Flash. Without Team Flash. Because that is just ridiculous at this point. It is Barry and Iris that give birth to Nora. It is Barry and Iris that need to be responsible and talk to Nora, not Team Flash. Last time I checked, you don't need like 5 other people to be yapping on and on about their little opinions.
I mean, Iris gives birth to Nora. Barry has no problem with it, no part in it, but it's okay. Iris is a strong woman. She could give birth to her own. She'll need her husband.
A speedster baby.
Ugh.
Yeah. And they're not focusing on Barry going missing. Like, listen, sure. The lady says she can't sleep at night. I want to see that. I want to see her worrying. I want to see her talking to Barry. I want to see the sappy moments between Nora, Barry, and Iris, because I know the actors, they can bring us to tears.
Like that'd be like a great bed scene, because they always have those like bed scenes, like they had this like season 4 where they're just talking, like there's like those moments where you talk inside like the bed. Like I feel like that would be a really great bed scene that we could have, and it would be really impactful and important to the plot. But we'll see.
Or show us Barry and Nora watching. Sorry. I just want to say, like, just show us, like, Barry and Nora watching a musical or something that makes us remember, oh, okay, he said he liked that. Oh, okay, this makes sense. Like, give us little things, like, little bones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Alyssa? Is she here?
Yes.
Okay.
I think, because, like, the writers aren't even I feel like the writers don't really focus on Joe and Cecile like that either. Like I feel like the writers like only focus on Joe and Cecile when they want to. It's like they leave it and then they come back to it.
Yeah.
And it's just like they had like I think they're like getting closer, but like it's still not what we used to have in the couples. It's like they've just gone down. And like it's like they said they're focusing on legacy, but don't want to focus on family, which don't make sense. And like I don't know, because I feel like Joe and Cecile aren't getting that much screen time either. But Ben Iris deserved most of it, but like Joe and Cecile, like I would have liked to see Thanksgiving with Joe and Cecile instead of Team Flash. Like if I'm being honest,
Yes.
like they could like
Except for Cisco. He could stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cisco is invited to every cookout. Like
Cisco's
he can come.
family.
Cisco family, yeah.
We love him.
everyone
love
else can go though, like all day. But
In my head, I have this headcanon that Cisco is the Godfather, so like he's still.
Yes, me
Yes.
too.
That would be
It makes
nice.
sense.
He's definitely Nora's favorite uncle. Only
Yeah.
uncle. Wait, no, Wally. Never mind.
Wally, Wally.
Disrespect.
Oh my
Wally's
god.
Honestly, I miss Wally. Like, can they give us
I
Wally?
do.
is
I
it
do.
Wally?
Yeah.
Wally's supposed to come back.
Yeah,
I
for 2
swear, they said-
episodes.
They said,
Oh,
right, they said
really?
he had 4 appearances. I'm waiting. They better.
Oh,
So is he
Yeah.
coming back for like the finale and then
He
like
better
next
come
one
back.
before then?
No, Wally
Probably.
will bring Don back. I swear. I'll bring Don with him. It's just going to happen. We're not the
Alyssa's
speed-
Wait,
not
guys.
here, but we knew this.
When are we gonna get
Oh,
the
the whole
bikini
different subject.
scene?
the bikinis. Oh, the one where Cam took the picture. Oh. Mm.
Ooh,
You know what?
I don't even know.
Like, you know what
the
it could be?
I
possibility.
don't know.
It could be like a bodysuit, though.
That's what I was thinking.
You know how they be. It could be like a bodysuit.
I'm gonna be upset if I already conjured up Candace showing her future stuff with her little babies at the beach, and they take that away from me. I'm fighting somebody.
Yes, I think they will cut the scene. I don't trust them at all.
I don't trust them
Yeah,
either.
me either. Mm-mm. They
I
failed
don't know.
us.
After the
Yeah.
amount of scenes last season
Yeah,
that got
fuck
deleted.
this show.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Alymah, what do you think?
So I think maybe it's like you said, guys, they try to focus on family and maybe more on the dynamic of family, and they kind of forget about West Island being a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more complicated because like Gina is a little like she's a baby, and Nora is like 20, 29, I think,
Mm-hmm.
even though she sometimes doesn't act like it, but whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's more complicated for them because she is living, I guess she's living with them, right? Yes, she's living
Yeah.
with them. And like Nora is sometimes reckless and they have to
Yeah.
deal with her. And there is a lot of things going on with Baring being like missing in the future. Cicada. So I think they want to try to focus on family and the other storyline, but they just forgot about West Island. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And-
I understand that. I think for me, like family, obviously they're trying to focus on family and legacy, and we already talked about that. But I think that it's not necessarily that I don't think that they can't, that they're not capable of doing it. 'Cause I think that they can do it properly and they can be balanced out properly. I just think that they have to find that medium. So like I think
Yes.
one episode, I think the last episode worked really well, to be honest. It like was balanced. Everyone's feelings were kind of like examined in a way, like you saw, like you felt like everyone's stressed when Nora was about to reveal, like you felt it, and I think it was handled well. So I think there are times when they can give us those moments, and even like the moments between like Barry and Iris, when we had that one episode, like was it whenever they went to the future. I can't remember the exact episode, but whenever
12. I think.
yeah, when Barry took Nora to the future, there's that nice little moment between Iris and Barry, like right before they left, where he asked her if he should let her go. Like I think that they've had these great moments where they've been able to integrate it into the plot well, but I think that they need to just find a better balance in doing that, because then it's not too difficult. Because like even though Jenna's a baby and Nora is obviously an adult, they're still both like I guess children in a way. So like I think like you know what I mean, like they're both they're both like they're both there. Like there's Barry, Nora, and Iris, and then there's Joe and Cecile and Jenna. And even though Jenna's still there, they still like find little ways to bring her up. So if, like Cecile's sitting down, she's like, "Oh, where's Jenna?" And they're like, "Oh, I left her at home because Joe's doing this." I think even if they just found time to like mention Nora, not necessarily have her there all the time, because there's that one episode where she wasn't there for the whole episode and no one mentioned her. Like it's like It's like, where is she? Do you guys like not care where she is? But when we see Jenna, even when Jenna's like, we haven't seen her like actually physically, but when she's not there, we're reminded that she's not there. So if they can do that for Josiel, why can't they do that for West Allen? Like, you know, they deserve the same amount of treatment, especially because West Allen is their main couple. So yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Do you guys okay? So do you think West Allen has lost their spark? If so, what is it that they're lacking now, and how would you like to see that missing aspect integrated back into the plot? Drea?
It's hard to say if they lost their spark just because we haven't seen them interact.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I don't necessarily think it means they lost their spark. I think they're just getting sidelined.
Okay.
Yes, same.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe they're not quite as sidelined. I'll have a different answer. But as for now, I think it's just getting sidelined.
Good.
I agree with what she said because they haven't lost their spark. I think it's just the scenes that they're cutting out that you're not getting to see them interact with each other. But even when they do share like small looks or a little touch, you get to see their chemistry rub off of each other, and you still feel like they're still the same exact person that they were before Nora showed up. It's just that we're not seeing those scenes act out. But I don't think they lost their sparks anyways. I think they could implement more scenes of them just, you know, being a couple or showing them working together like they did on episode 5. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But overall, I think they're still the same. They just need to show us a different side of them. Yeah.
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 Alyssa?
Okay. I don't really think they lost their spark. Like what other people said, it's the writing. Like I don't think it has anything to do with them losing their spark. They're still a cute and adorable couple. There's nothing wrong. Feel like it's just the writers are just being stupid, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff that needs to come back for West Allen. Like, whoever decided to do season 3, that storyline needs to come back. They just need to write them better.
We're fed.
Honestly, season 3 was like golden. I missed it, but
Way back season 3, just with Zoom as a villain, you got a package deal.
Okay, Alyssa.
She had to throw that Zoom promo in there.
I'm just saying.
By the way, Zoom was in season 2, not 3. I'm just saying it was Sabotage, so
that's true.
I want to see them bring Eddie back as the villain, and I want to see Penny Barry for every episode. And I want the angst. I was feeling guilty. Barry feeling guilty. I want to be fed. That's it. I want to be fed.
Yeah, it's like I want to be fed to, you know, a little bit of Zoom. You know what I mean? I'm sick of seeing Reverse Flash. I'm gonna say it since no one wants to say. I'm sick of Tom. Like,
really?
You said something so brave.
So bold.
If it was played by an actor, I'll be okay. But Tom,
I second it.
Tom
I'm
just
sick of him.
Tom just whispers. Him and Cicada are just whispering their way through this season, and I'm not here for it. What kind of acting and villains are these people? And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say Reverse Flash is not the best when you have a whisper actor when Zoom is right there. So,
you know what? Reverse Flash was really good in season 1. I think Tom lost his spark after he started playing 10,000 versions of Wells, and he kind of got confused as to who was who.
Yes.
So,
he's been using Harry's voice for this Reverse Flash.
I really miss Earth 2 Harry. I think he was my favorite Wells.
Harry is my favorite Wells.
I hated Harry. He was bitch.
Honestly,
I like that about him. Like, he had dark humor. I don't know. Like, maybe it's because I love dark humor and I'm just that type of person. But, like,
I like dark humor too, but there was a bit much.
I think he's a good contrast.
I think between Reverse Flash and Harry, you can definitely tell the differences in, like, terms of acting. I feel like after HR, it just kind of, like, went down.
Even HR was a stretch.
I hated HR.
Yeah, like,
honestly,
I like HR.
I feel like one who liked him. He didn't
I thought he was funny.
I thought he was irritating at first, but then he kind of grew on me, and then at the end I was like, oh, he
I
dies.
liked at the end.
No,
I mean, rather him than Iris. I'm just saying, but
Oh yeah.
But I'm just like sick of having to relearn a Tom Cavanaugh character every season, and now this season
yes.
is another episode.
Mhm.
And it's like that HR was the first time I felt that way. And I was kind of like, it took me a while to get used to Harry, and now I'm like, okay, now I have to get used to HR, who's completely different.
Yeah.
And then Harry came back, and now we have Sherlock, who kind of
Oh my god.
is
Oh.
a marriage between everything annoying about HR and Wells, like married with a French accent.
Ugh, a fake ass French accent.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like his French is good. I think he's Canadian. That's what I mean, from Quebec.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
his French is good.
Yeah,
But
he's Quebecois, that's why.
yeah. So you mean to tell me I'm the only one who liked Tom?
Yeah.
I like Tom. I'm
I
with
don't,
you, Alymah.
I don't hate Tom. I think that I think that he does his best work when he's playing a real villain. I think that he can, like, at least for me in season 1, like, you know how you said he was Reverse Flash was best in season 1. I think that whenever he's given any sort of Reverse Flash material, there are certain like moments or aspects where like the material is really good and he delivers the lines really well. I just think that there's so many iterations of Wells that is really hard to kind of, I mean, even for him as an actor to play, like, it's not even like they're so far removed from each other. Like, some of them have the same, some things are same about them, and some things they do the same things, this and that, because, you know, they're all different versions of, like, Earth versions of.
Yes.
So I think that it's not even like, it's like playing a different character, like, air quote, but I think it's just, like, the fact that they're so similar that it's just kind of hard to, as an actor, to really, like, make it new when every character you're playing literally has a common thread between them. I think that might be hard for him to do.
Yes.
And, yeah,
I'm sick of like the Wells Council, all the Wells, like they just gotta go. Like,
well, it's pretty obvious in the
or something.
future. In the future, there is no Wells on the team.
Hallelujah.
I confirmed that.
Can we just talk
So,
about in the
yeah.
future? Noah never knew Caitlyn. Let's pray something happened. Noah never knew Caitlyn, like, who is this? Guys, I'm telling y'all, something had to happen, and it's not happening.
There's that timeline, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Miss Patty Boots over here talking about them. She's not in the future, so you know what that means. Okay, sis.
Yeah, okay, so do you want to go ahead and say anything about West Owl and Losing Spark and everything?
I just wanted to add something about Wells. I just find it weird that he's going. I mean, Sherlock or Sherlock. I don't know how you pronounce it. He's just going out here, like in the city, but people still remember about Iris Well being the bad guy who brought the
And Caitlyn, like, she is a wanted criminal. Let's not Amnesia all of a sudden.
Let's not do that. They got a whole Killer Foss coffee named after her. They love her for her, like, for being white. I'm gonna be honest.
They got a coffee named after Zoom, and he tried to kill half of them. So you know
but
they.
he is true. He got that praise. Let's be honest. That's the privilege getting to them, because ain't no one can kill, murder, massacre people and get a drink named after them. That is not
slave trafficking, all of that. Let me not get into it.
Yeah, and just like to add to what you guys said about Wells, I honestly think that they think it's the mustache. You know, I think that they think that if he has a mustache, that people won't recognize him. It's like Superman's glasses. Like, I put on these glasses, and nobody gonna recognize me. You know, I'm a different person. So I think that it's just the mustache. That it really gives him personality, a whole different look, and that's how he's getting through the world. I just think that's how it works. So what do you think?
I mean, okay, I don't think they lost their spark, because obviously in the scenes that they do share in like 512 and the 100th episode, where, like, that hug at the end, that's one of my favorite moments of the season. Like, you can clearly tell that they have super strong chemistry. But I think it's pretty much what everybody else was saying. It's just in terms of writing, if they would incorporate it more in the plot, in like cases where Barry and Nora and Joe and them went to go investigate, like, bring Iris. She's a reporter.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, they could incorporate so much family time or just time, just West Allen time in little scenes like that, and their chemistry will shine through. Like, you'll see it. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's their spark. I think it's just the writing
The
needs to
writing.
improve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
I think
the family, the West family moments from like season 1 to even season 3, where they always had dinner
Yes.
together and all that.
Yes. I
Could
miss
have gotten
that.
that with Nora and the baby and all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like the family dinners or like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I
Yeah.
enjoy those
Yes.
scenes, and I
Yeah.
think that all their chemistry just
Minus the
gives
lies
off.
about Grandma Esther, because I know she watched them pots.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that they need to, like, as you said, so Iris being a reporter is really important. I think that if they had her and like utilize that, also like I hope that they take the storyline they're going with Camilla, and I hope that they kind of really run with that, because that'd be really great. Oh, I said run with that. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, but like, yeah, I know. I think if they go with that and they do something with that'd be great too. At least for Iris to have her own kind of plot, aside from being Barry's wife, stuff
and
like that.
a female friend.
Yes,
Yes.
a female
Like,
friend.
friendship,
A female
like-
friend outside.
Bring back
I
Linda,
just-
and you got a trio.
Yes.
A
Yes.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
And
a
Camilla
one
doesn't
sick
need
trio.
powers.
Yeah.
Camilla doesn't need powers. There's too many powered people amongst the group. It's just ridiculous at this point.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Hopefully
agree.
they take more time to give Iris female friendships outside of Star Labs. Friends, not even necessarily females. Like friends
Yes.
outside of Star Labs.
That have
Yes.
that-
I want to see West Ellen like going out with other couple, maybe a double date with
Yes.
Camilla and Cisco.
Yeah.
They need to work
Yes.
together. Like there is so much they can do,
Yeah.
and
Well,
I
to
feel
cut
like
in.
the writing is.
But I would also like to maybe see Felicity and Iris bond by themselves. That doesn't revolve around
Yes.
the men, because
Yes,
every
yes,
conversation
yes.
that they
Love
have, it's always about Barry or Oliver. Like they
true.
seem to have a good friendship, but it's all interaction that happened off the screen. And as somebody who
Yes.
likes Felicity and Iris, I think
Love
that
Felicity.
could be such a powerful duo. I mean,
Yeah.
The beautifulness of their friendship, and with Kara, all of them together. It could be
yes.
don't even get me started.
Yes.
Because I want to see
They
Kara
hug
and
each
Iris
other.
bond so much.
It's so beautiful. Like they're like stupid, and they're like missing out. And
They
we're
have
not
so
getting
many
that.
opportunities with Kara and Iris, but I'm not gonna get into that because I could talk all day about that.
It's so good. Like every time they hug or they talk, they look so happy with each other.
Yes. They are so
And
cute.
let's also
Communicate all
they're
the
also
time.
both reporters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kara is a reporter and Iris is a reporter. I would love to see them share a byline. And
Yes.
then work
Yeah.
with Felicity, like a just little girl team, or
So it's Iris.
yeah. So I
Like,
just missed off.
Give us a brunch date or something. Feed us for one.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that you guys were saying Felicity, Kara. I think Kara and Iris, like as you were saying, so they gel well because they understand each other. They understand what it's like to be a woman and a reporter at the same time, because it's mostly a male dominated field. So I think that they understand each other in that aspect, and I think that's why their friendship is so strong. I think Iris clicks with most people, to be honest. She just has that
Yes.
that glow, that warmth, that Iris Ellen spark. Her own spark.
Iris is a Cancer, and I think that probably has something to do with it.
Everyone
Cancers
just
are very
Almost
warm.
everybody. So I don't know what's going on, but oh well.
All right. Do you think we're gonna eventually get Dawn or the Jade twins? And Alyssa, stop.
Did
I'm sorry, bro. That wasn't even me. Why you coming for
That was me. That was me. That was me getting ready to talk.
Maybe finish
I
the
could hear
question.
somebody start laughing in the back.
Do you think the current Nora will be erased from the timeline? Okay.
I hope so.
Alymah, you're first.
I am. Alyssa, are you okay?
No, I'm not. I don't get it. I wasn't put first.
Alyssa, you're second.
Okay, just go then.
Alyssa, would you like to go first?
Let her talk.
Okay, Alyssa, go ahead.
Oh, really? I could go first?
Yes.
Okay. I should have been first. You know, this is my expertise.
Oh,
This is her subject. Okay, everybody let Alyssa have the spotlight.
Well, according to my logic, Dawn is coming. It don't matter if Noah stays or doesn't, as long as Dawn comes. So I really don't care if Noah erases herself, as long as Dawn comes. And it makes sense with all the hints they're giving. You know, we need more diapers. You know, like Noah is not pooping that much, so it's not about her. It has to be about Dawn because you know he's just superior, and I feel like he's gonna really add an aspect to this show. And I really love Dawn, but like Noah is just not cutting it. And I feel like once we get Dawn, we'll see why Noah is just not superior in the aspect. And the only issue I have is the writers don't know how to focus with multiple speedsters, which is why they shouldn't have been speedsters in the first place. So why we calling them tornado twins if you out here making them speedsters? But that's none of my business. I don't like this show. All I do is it. But it's just like I don't get why it's taking so long for Dawn to come, and they just keep dropping hints like it's gonna show up. Like
that's gonna be.
But is he coming though?
They keep twins, brothers and sisters. They keep like giving little hints.
They do. They really do. It's like not like for real.
I think it's clickbait.
Logic, guys, and they dropped the thing saying impulse. I did my comic book logic, and I'm telling you. How if Dawn's not alive, how did the impulse get here? So Dawn is coming, maybe not at our pace, but the way that Todd's been writing this season, I don't want him to touch Dawn. So maybe he could pop up in the finale for 2 seconds to say hi, but Dawn needs to get written by people who know how to write him because I want him to express his emotions and love Iris, and we will really see why we love Dawn before he even got on the screen. And if Dawn does not come, then I just want to say to the writers, fuck you. You're like, what is your issue? If Dawn doesn't come. Emotions. Y'all know I love Dawn. He's just amazing. And I feel like Noah made me realize that she really needs Dawn because she's a mess up. Like, I'm not trying to come for Noah. The thing she does, like, how you gonna change the timeline 52 times?
Oh my gosh.
Do that.
That's a whole
like the first person that dies is supposed to say dead. That's how it goes. Like we know this.
Like up here, like I'm confused. How do you even have the energy to do that? Because after the third time, I'm giving up. Like
Barry Allen's genes. It's Barry Allen's genes. That's why she gets how she feels.
Yes.
That's it. And then like I just don't get how like nothing seems like it's changed because she like when Barry made one simple change. Well, we was at Flashpoint. Noah changed the time like 52 times. We coming back.
It's a Flashpoint, isn't it?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, kind of.
It should be her.
So if Noah's been making so much dumb decisions, I feel like literally, like you know how the Speed Force was mad at Zoom, Barry, they're mad at Noah. They have to be pissed at Noah for changing it 52 times. So
for her.
All I'm saying is, if she gets hunted down by one of them scary thingies and they suck the life out of her,
oh my god,
and your tornado twins come, I'm not gonna be mad. You know, she should have been more smarter about it. You know, but I love the actor. She could play one of the tornado twins just in case Noah dies. Like, just hypothetically.
Yeah.
Hopefully. If that makes Dawn comes, Noah gotta go.
Yeah.
Because she's just like a grown woman acting this way, I just don't get it. And it's just like the writers, I feel like the writers forget what they write. And that's the issue.
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
Forgetting what they wrote about Noah.
I think we are going to see like the twins. I don't think we're going to see an adult Dawn. I think with timeline changes, she'll be pregnant with twins, and then we'll get them that way. And then I think definitely Nora would probably be like different, especially if Barry like sticks around. Yeah. Like I think, of course, she's gonna be different if she's raised by like both parents because it's a different life she's living. So yeah.
I feel Nora should just stay the way that she is. We need to keep this storyline just so in case anything bad happens. Because I feel like if they do bring Dawn, knowing the writers, they'll do something stupid and make Noah erase Dawn. And then be like, oh, well, oops, just to say that they try to follow the comic books, but you see what happened was we took our own route, and it don't make sense for them to keep teasing at Dawn, because you do realize that some people actually like Dawn, and that makes me mad. All these white fanboys who swear up and down the comics are the correct way to go are just chilling about Dawn not coming. They're like, oh, let me just hit on Iris, and I'm like, are we gonna focus on the fact we're not even following the comic books now? We're on the whole route. But y'all want to.
I think they're teasing him because they're gonna show, like, I think they're just gonna tease it and have it be like Iris is pregnant with twins, and then we're assuming.
Yes, and honestly, I know it won't happen, but since I watched Justice League, oh my gosh, I'm tired. Young Justice, yes.
Yeah.
And Bart was coming back to the past, and he was talking to Iris's belly and say, "Hi, Dad. Hi, I'm Dawn." I really, really want to see this scene on the show, and I know it probably won't happen, but honestly, I'm obsessed with this scene. I would like so much because I think I deserve it. It won't happen. I think.
For 5 years, we deserve this, and I think we should address the fact: how is a human supposed to carry a speedster baby? Are we not
true?
That's
like, you know what?
Question.
Yeah, you know what?
Kick.
Yeah.
Like babies kick. Is it like speed?
Yeah, you know what? I think they're gonna have
appetite.
Yeah. I think
you don't say anything about Caitlyn, please. Let's just
but you know how they are. You know how they are. They're gonna have Caitlyn whip up some kind of weird ass serum to give Iris so that she won't have nothing wrong with her, and then everything's gonna be fine. That's what's gonna happen, so they can give Caitlyn some kind of plot line. Because to be honest,
been having this. Oh, sorry, I was about to get nasty, but okay.
It's okay. Like, to be honest, the writers, like what you were saying before, the writers seem to have this like problem with continuity and forgetting what they're writing about. So to fill in like any kind of like references to seasons before, things like that, or things that Caitlyn does or Iris has done, or things like that before, they're gonna try to create some kind of new thing that involves somebody to give them some kind of plot. So I think that's their main problem. What were you gonna say, Alyssa?
Oh, well, I was just saying, like, they have to give someone a plot. Can it please be Cisco?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like,
Yes, please.
I feel too much about Caitlyn and Killer Frost. I could probably write an essay on what we got wrong about Killer Frost just by the show messing up. Why do I need to keep knowing why she hates herself, now she loves herself? I don't care, bro. She need to go see a therapist. Like, go. Cisco is who we need to focus on. And if we're going to do a storyline, well, like, surrounded about this, I don't even care if Cisco's not a doctor. He's gonna be a doctor today if he needs to help Iris. Like, and that's that. Like, it don't make sense how Caitlyn can sit up here and switch whatever her occupation is when she feels like it. But Cisco just sticks to one place, and it's irritating because Cisco could be one of the best characters. Well, he is, but like, I'm just saying, if we actually got to see his storyline, and if he was. And we got to see Iris and Cisco scenes plus Dawn.
Oh yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Add Dawn to that mix.
Yeah. Powerful trio.
Yeah. Hair is gone, and Cisco stayed because to help Iris with Dawn. You know, or just came with it, but.
Yeah. You see, but this is where it comes in because I think Carlos is being deducted down to a reoccurring next season, or he's leaving.
What?
So I'm pretty sure that's the route that they're going. So, like, there's not really a chance for him to get. They should have been doing this more like last season because he didn't really have an arc last season, other than the whole gypsy thing.
That's true.
And even then, that wasn't even that long of a thing.
Right.
But
but the other girl got a whole damn plot.
She's
with
still
her ridiculous.
She gets a plot every season for no reason, and I'm not saying
it's the same recycled plot with loopholes and shit. Like I thought the bitch wasn't meta. Nah, she not. This now something's wrong. No, like make up your mind. I'm tired. Where's her father, by the way? Like,
I thought he was supposed to be a big thing.
Yeah, they did say
to be a big thing this season, but the season's almost over. Unless they're gonna do kind of what they did over there, like on like Supergirl, where Jeremy Jordan was supposed to come back over there, but instead, since of timing or whatever, they pushed him back. So unless they're doing the same thing with Caitlyn's dad,
maybe
I don't know.
We don't need him.
I actually have a theory about this whole tornado twins thing with Nora. I think I talked about it in the group chat before, but pretty much with Nora just being in the present by itself is going to change the timeline to her own version of Flashpoint when she goes back.
Yeah.
Because, she's not going to know everything's going to be different.
Yeah.
So my theory is that when she goes back, obviously things are going to be really different. And if Barry's still alive in the future, then maybe it swapped it out. Maybe, and it's now she has a brother that she didn't know of, or something along them lines. Because I feel like that would be kind of more something that Flash writers would do.
Yeah, maybe that's why we're getting Impulse, or we're supposed to be getting Impulse, because you guys know there was that leak basically where the picture was leaked for for Impulse, and I think that maybe what they could be going around with, instead of having Dawn giving us Impulse instead of having Dawn, I guess. But he'll exhibit all the qualities we're supposed to get from Dawn, maybe. Maybe it's the way they're gonna go. Maybe, I don't know.
No, please don't. Please. No,
I know, but
I just think that once she returns back to the future, obviously things are already going to be different because, she patched things up with her mom, so that's changing a lot of her childhood and a lot of her things. Yeah. So I just feel like a lot of her main stuff is... Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Tofu, will you be quiet? I love my dog. Anyways, but I feel like it's just everything's gonna change for her than what it was just since the day she stepped into the present or her past. But so I feel like maybe if she goes back, she's gonna have a brother, and then she's gonna be really confused unless they're just not planning on doing the twins. Then
I think
No, that's not an option.
But it kind of is, because this is the Flash writers we're talking about here. If we can,
what it is, we get it Dawn, and I'm telling y'all, we have to. He's the only person that can save the thing that we're going through right now. Just this season's been all over the place, and Dawn would just make it feel way better. And I'm sick of seeing a new character pop in, and I'm over here, me and Jade crackhead self. So Dawn is coming. Dawn is coming.
Look, I like Dawn, and I want him to come, but I just feel like I'm not gonna get my hopes up for him coming. I guess.
I think they're gonna what I said. I think what they're gonna do, knowing the Flash writers, the current Flash writers, they're going to take all the aspects of Dawn, like how they took all the aspects of Dawn, with a W, and made it into Nora. So I think they're gonna make it him Impulse, maybe instead of being a tornado twin. Hopefully they do it well and they satisfy us, because they've been doing this journey the whole season, and I'm over it. But okay. So what?
For me, I think I would like to piggyback on what you guys said. I think towards the end of the season, when she goes back to her own timeline after she, apologized for all the crap she put Iris through and all that yada yada yada. She's gonna go back, and then she's just gonna have this brother, and I want him to have the exact same energy that season 2 Wally had. Savage, throwing shade left and right. Just, the flavor.
Really nice.
I would like to see that. I would like to see it. I would like to see it.
He better say that Barry or Noah, but not Iris, okay?
Absolutely not. He loves his mother. She's like an angel in his eyes. He worships her. He needs to throw shade at his deadbeat dad. That's always going missing.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. This man out here letting Iris do all the work while he always risking his life, trying to die. At this point, I think Barry don't mind dying, because this boy always doing something extra.
Cisco kind of shaded him, if you think about it. And, Cisco said he didn't want to pull a Barry Allen and go missing.
That's true.
In the future.
I think.
Yes.
I think we could talk about Dawn for hours, y'all.
Can I just say my theory, because I actually have a good one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, go.
I think that Nora didn't tell anyone she was going to the past. It's that seems like something she would do because she's crazy and impulsive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that Dawn is going to come back to find her and be like, what did you do?
Oh, yeah, obviously.
The future is totally messed up.
Muy bien. I love it.
That would be nice.
That's what the writers right now.
I feel like that would happen.
Would be able to execute that. I feel like that would be a good storyline.
Yeah.
I think it would be very interesting for him to show up and we get to see him like exhibit characteristic of Iris and to just see him like being kind of like Barry, exploring, like trying to see all the different things.
Yeah.
But then you get to see him throw shade at Barry for going missing and
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
the angst. Imagine him like telling him why didn't he try harder not to vanish and stuff.
Yeah,
And then you got
Father Son Angst, my favorite.
I just want to see their dynamic. I want to see them like yang and yang. And I just like it will just be beautiful because they're already dawn and dawn, so it will be like yang and yang, and it will just be very beautiful to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that there's a lot we could talk about Dawn and the Tornado Twins and all the plot lines that they're gonna throw at us or not throw at us or not give us because you know how they are. But I don't know. I hope Dawn comes. If he doesn't come, I might write like Alyssa, but I hope he comes. All right. So, do you guys think West Island's specialness is a product of the chemistry between Grant Gustin and Candice Patton, or is it the writing? Depending on which you choose, what are the strengths and weaknesses of those dynamics? I go first. That's me. Okay. All right. So, okay. So I think that most of there's obviously chemistry between the two. They work well together on camera. But I think that, as we were talking about before, the writers had these moments that they write that are really good and they give us good West Island material. But when we don't get those scene or material or their lines are weak, I think that Candice and Grant give us a good performance, so we don't feel like we're missing much when we're not given what we deserve, obviously. So I think that the writing has its strengths and the fact that they give us these great moments, like 5XO5 was amazing and full of West Island, beautiful. And even the crossover they had, where they had that moment between Barry and Iris when he was like kind of Oliver, kind of not, that was great too. And also Grant and Candice's part, but I think that when we are given the writing we deserve, they fill in those gaps with their chemistry and their connection, and they give us what we need. So I think that it's more of a balanced thing, more so than strengths and weaknesses. But I think that that's what contributes to them being special in a way. They're special because we have that from the actors, but also we have those moments sometimes from the writers when they like decide to give us a good moment. Sap?
I think it's a combination of both. I think Grant and Candace share a chemistry that is undeniable, and when they're together, they do create something special between the two characters that if it were other actresses and actors, we wouldn't get. And I think, based on the writings that they receive, they're able to just give us this different side and redefine the characters, like the president of the CW has said to Miss Candace Patton. Like, she brings this new angle towards the character, and I think it's just them and the writing. And I just feel like if they keep giving them good material, they can really push this Flash being the #1 show on the network for a good couple more years. But they keep playing, so we just don't have to see.
So
I also think it's a combination of both, because obviously Grant and Candace both have really good chemistry on screen, and it's, obviously, like everybody said, it's undeniable. And but I also do think that when they're given the right material, that they can make it something really special and great, and not something that you really see often. Like when given the right scenes, you can see, like, you feel like they were actually growing up together and that they were actually childhood best friends, and not these two actors who just were put together 5 years ago or whatever. Like, you can really tell, like, you kind of believe it, like, you think it's real, aside metahumans and stuff aside. But so I think that it is a combination of both, but I do feel like sometimes when the writing is weakened, that the actors can't pull as strong as a performance when there's not great material being given to them. So then sometimes it is kind of like, like, you kind of question it, but then other times you're just like, wow, like, you wouldn't believe that, they're just co-stars or whatever. But that's
Alymah? I agree with you guys. I think it's also a combination, and honestly, the chemistry is magical, and the fact that there is a lot of iconic scenes is like just improv between
Candace and Grant,
yes, it's just amazing, and it proves that the actors can do great things. But I agree when the writing isn't, when sometimes the writing is off, it's kind of difficult for them to work it out. But their chemistry is everything. And I think it saves sometimes the writing. Even sometimes when we watch a thing, it's kind of, no, it's cringeworthy. But their chemistry, once again, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think that they make even cringeworthy lines or lines that kind of would fall flat with other actors sound great because they're able to interpret that in a way that, like, for example, even if they don't necessarily like, for example, there was that blooper where Candace couldn't say a certain word in season 4. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Vigilant. Oh God, we're doing it too. Vigilant. Yeah. Vigilant. Okay, but I think that stuff like that, they're able to kind of, if they don't like something, they're like, okay, well, here's what I would say, or here's what I think it sounds better. So I don't think that they necessarily mess with much of the material, but they make it their own. I think that that's really important and nice to do for them to do because it gives them more realism.
Yeah. Even like you on My Lighting Rod, when Barry was in Oliver's body and he was saying to him, like, tell her that. Like Oliver was looking at him kind of crazy, like this is lame, but it actually works. Like
I feel like if any other couple said that line, I would be cringing so hard. But like with them, like I was just like in love. Like
they make it work.
You know what? Stefan's acting when he was next to Candace exhibits a certain excellence that I have not seen in ever. But you could see, like, if he was next to Candace all the time, like her chemistry would have rubbed off of him. Because I can imagine him saying that line and it not sounding that terrible.
Honestly,
of the way that
and they had chemistry. I'm sorry, but West Queen had chemistry.
They did have chemistry.
Greatness.
Candace kind of has chemistry with almost anybody. Like she can make it happen. Like even if you would never think of it, like when she's with somebody in another scene, like you'd be like, wow. Like,
it's just it's a tribute to her acting abilities. She's able to kind of transcend the scene, transcend who she's talking with, and so she makes every scene that much better because she's able to carry it.
Your job. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, iconic.
Yeah. I think we're lucky to have, for the most part, a pretty good band of actors who can truly bring something to the lines that they're given, even if they're not necessarily the strongest lines or they make the most sense. They make the most of it. I think that so for the writers and stuff, I think that what's great about even their like not great lines, that it gives the actors a challenge to rely a bit more on their connection. So they're not relying so much on the material, but on the connection they can give us and the realism they can give us when they're together. I think even though that may have its faults, I think it also is a strength for the actors because we get to see them connect more and flow more, and that makes them feel more together. Yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense, but you get
Yes, it did.
Yeah. All right. So, Drea, what do you think?
I think it's a lot. I'm going to say it's a majority of chemistry because I think two people who have really good chemistry can make anything, as we've kind of been talking about. And yeah, there is good writing and there is good scenes that they have, but they really can make anything. Like, I think if any other couple was, like, if Arrow pulled a "We Are the Arrow," I would have been like...
oh gosh, I would have cringed.
But they are the Arrow because without Felicity, well...
I mean, that's true.
Well, yeah, the things that he does, so...
But also, like, the way that it was delivered and the way that... Also, like, the way it was explained, the way Iris explained it, and also Barry literally says in so many words, "We are the Flash." Every other episode.
Since like season 1.
There's no Flash without Iris Face.
Yeah, exactly.
Since season 1, episode 21. I remember.
She knows. She pulled the receipts.
She was wearing that.
You got the time?
Yes, she was wearing that beige jacket, and then he had two hands, and she felt sparks and like electricity. Okay, let me show you.
Yes, it was the episode with Grodd. I remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh my god, right. Yeah. Ashley?
Got receipts.
Yeah, I agree with what Drea said. I feel like it's a lot of it has to do with chemistry because like even if there's amazing writing and like two actors didn't have any chemistry, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a lot of it is the chemistry along with a little writing.
Alyssa?
Okay. I think obviously it's chemistry. But even though I normally bash the writers, I'll give them when they want to focus on West Island scenes, they are amazing. And I'll give it to them.
Yep.
But when they don't, then you see what you get. You can see the amount of effort that they put in.
Yeah.
So I really do feel like the writers do play a part of it because some people really think that like Grant and Candace hate each other and there's no more chemistry just because the writers are not writing scenes for them. And I'm just like, it's not like Grant and Candace can really go backstage and be like, no, erase this scene. I don't want to do scenes with this person.
Obviously,
no.
yeah.
Like the writers, like they have a huge part to play in this.
Well, I mean,
but
they can because it.
I don't think that's the case because when they're like when you see like videos of them outside of work, they're laughing and like having these little inside jokes and stuff. So it's not likely.
Obviously, no. I think
unless you're delusional and you want that to be the case, then of course you're going to find exactly what you want.
I think they're fine, and even if it were the case, I think that Sorry. You want to go ahead? Hello.
Huh?
You can keep talking. I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay. No, I finished. I said I digressed. That was it.
Okay. I think that even if it was that was the case, I think that they'd be able to handle it professionally. I think they both bring, when it comes to the job, that they're both pretty professional about how they go about things. So even if that was the case, it wouldn't affect their dynamic on the show. Like, example, Grant's married, it hasn't really affected them. Whatever is going on with their personal lives hasn't affected them. I think they're able to be professional because it is their job. It's their workspace. No matter what you think about it, it's still a workspace. You have to bring some sort of professionalism to that when you go to work. So,
they're not blurring the lines between fiction and reality.
Exactly.
Which is what a lot of fans have trouble believing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans do have problems with that because they act so well together. Sometimes you either kind of bring the character to the person and you forgot that there's an actual human person that is just like you. Yeah. So to them, they're kind of like, oh, well, he is Barry Allen, but he's not Barry Allen. Barry Allen is written in Vancouver somewhere. Like, this is
he's fictional. He's not. He doesn't actually exist. He's just being portrayed on screen.
We are often reminded that they're not their characters. There's many distinctions in real life that makes them separate from their characters in very, very many ways. So
and I think it's a problem that a lot of people can distinguish the two. And it's not just this fandom, it's like Supergirl. It's
every fandom.
Don't even give me
it's every fandom.
With Supergirl. Don't get me even started with Supergirl. I get so frustrated with them sometimes.
Give Chris Woods the justice that he deserved. That man did not do nothing for y'all to be doing that to him. Okay? Y'all can choke. And I said what I said.
I'm not going to disagree, but...
Honestly, I was
a perfect example.
Fandom for Supergirl for a really long time, and Tumblr hates Chris Wood.
So oh my gosh! Yes, they hate him.
Tumblr's stupid anyway. Tumblr's stupid.
They literally were betting on Melissa and Chris's engagement, actual money. Like, people were putting down money on it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Just because they bullied him,
and it was so embarrassing.
Wait, why were they betting on it? So go ahead. Why were they betting on it? Sorry.
Just because they don't like him, or because she was married prior to him or whatever. So they were people were commenting actual money down below,
crazy.
like oh, I'll pay. I was like, what?
That's crazy. I think that that brings up an important thing that I guess I don't think people talk about enough, is that we don't seem to know how to separate actors from their characters. Even if they played, even if, of course, they're actors who are very similar to their characters, but it doesn't mean they are them. And so when Candace was getting hate for being Iris, it would be like, okay, Iris sucks, and so do you. Okay, but if you have the hatred for Iris, what has Candace done to you? All she's doing is doing her job. And so it's not only that even affects like romantic relationships or whatever that stuff, it also affects the actors themselves and like how people perceive their work. So like and someone hates Iris, and then it's like, I hate Iris, I also hate Candace, and then like Candace is that like that. Like I think that that's toxic in itself. We need to find a way to change that behavior. The actors aren't their characters, and we can't. If you don't like a character, cool, but you can't say that it's the actor's fault necessarily for you not liking the character.
Yeah, well, like,
Yeah.
well, like my thing is that if you don't like, you're gonna have people have to step up to the plate and play these characters, because if not, every TV show and every plot line would be the same. All good guys, there would be nothing interesting. So like somebody has to step up to and play these people. So I think these people are, are brave when they're playing such controversial roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility. I think that they all seem to, even every show, every season, I think they all seem to handle it well. Especially, I don't watch Arrow that much, but I know that Oliver is apparently very different from in the comic books. So I think they handle it pretty well, and I think that they deserve some kind of level of praise for that, even in that aspect. Even if you don't personally like them or whatever like that, they deserve a level of praise and for that, for being able to go through that and do their job and do it pretty okay.
Okay, like I know a majority of like the West Island fandom doesn't like Caitlyn and DP, but for me, I didn't mind Caitlyn when I first started watching the show.
Me either.
Same.
Up until season 3, I liked her character.
Yeah.
I was rooting for her, but then they took a different turn with her character. With DP, I started to learn about the things that she was doing backstage, so I had my own beef with her from that. But I never projected my feelings for the character onto her until she started doing things that I became aware of that I did not like. Well, there is a difference. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, I don't like Ralph, so let me go harass Hartley real quick. Like, that's not cool, guys. You can't do that to someone.
Yeah, like PSA, y'all. Don't harass the actors if you don't like the characters. Like, just don't. Like, Alright, so what is the importance of seeing all aspects of West Island, including the good, the bad, and the ugly? Do you think showing West Island in this way brings a sense of authenticity to the characters? Ashley?
Yeah, I think that it's important with, like, when writing any couple on TV, I think it's important to see all aspects of that couple and not have them be just one-dimensional and show, like, all the bad times also, like, as well as with the good. And like I really liked in last season when Barry and Iris went to couples counseling. And I really like that they showed that.
That was a really healthy moment in their relationship.
Yeah. I just really like that. It makes the couple seem more real and authentic and like they're an actual couple.
Yeah. All right, Drea?
I agree with what Ashley was saying. I was actually going to bring up the couples therapy as well. I really don't like when shows either go like one way or another. Either they're like all sunshine and rainbows and everything's great versus like they're constantly fighting and they hate each other. So I think it's important to show like a couple that's real and can have arguments. And I'm hoping in the next episode that you can see them, how they're going to disagree with how Nora's news, pretty much their reaction to Nora's news, and kind of see butt heads on that, but still be able to go home and have, a loving relationship and being able to be like, oh, we disagree.
Yeah,
we need couples therapy, but we're still in a loving relationship, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think it's important that they show all aspects of a married couple. I think that a lot of things like media and in general tend to blur our reality and perception of the way life goes on when we're like older. When we see things like on TV as kids, we think that that's how we should act as adults. I think that when television starts to show all aspects of marriage, like sometimes they get angry, sometimes they have fights, and there's someone sitting on the couch, but like in the end they still love each other. I think that is important to see. So it's important not only for the story itself, but for the viewers or the younger viewers themselves to see.
Yes, I agree. Watch This Is Us, by the way.
For me, I think you guys may not agree with me, but during season season 3, I believe, when they got into the argument about why Barry asked her to marry him, I think it was healthy for them to take a step back and evaluate their relationship, and if that was the step that they wanted to take. And then even later, when Iris was finally ready, you see that Barry realized he was wrong finally, and then he asked her to like give him some time, some space to figure it out. And even though they weren't happy with that decision, but you could see that they worked through it, and then they became stronger instead of just letting it just like dawn into their relationship until it brings it to a breaking point. And I think that was very healthy to realize, hey, okay, so we need some space to figure this out. We don't always have to be laughing and agreeing with each other 24/7. It's okay if I take a couple minutes to figure myself out and give you time and space to figure yourself out. I thought that was pretty cool.
All right, Sal.
Yeah, well, pretty much just what has basically been already said. And then, yeah, season 3, like that whole engagement situation, I actually really enjoyed that for multiple reasons, but mainly for that because to me it really did show, you know, regardless of how they, you know, still feel about each other and they still strongly care about each other, they decided to do something really mature. And that not a lot of couples, like when couples usually argue nowadays, it's usually one and done, like nobody knows what communication is. So like I feel like that was a really good thing to show. And I feel like when they do show, you know, signs of actual couples and stuff, I feel like that really does shine the light on reality. And, you know, like, nobody's perfect. Nobody's happy 24/7. And nobody's necessarily arguing 24/7 either. Yeah. You know, there's a gray area is, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alyssa?
Well, I think that I feel like seeing all aspects is really, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like I feel like most people, because I've seen some people really say they dislike West Island because they get along too much, and I'm just like, well, sorry that you've been introduced to so many toxic couples watching TV shows that you're a couple not hating each other and not going from enemies to BF to boyfriend and girlfriend or like cheating on each other. Like people want that drama, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, like in relationship, that's not supposed to be what is the normal standards. So the Flash is just really good at promoting that good, healthy relationship, and they're not really trying to do a lot of drama with West Island, which is what I like. Like keep that drama away.
They're not doing drama for the sake of drama.
Right.
They,
Yeah.
They
Brandon
talk
talks
about the
that.
things.
Yeah.
Like they go, like when Iris said she want to go to therapy, Barry was like, okay, let's go. There was not no argument. They sat there, they listened to each other. Like, even if they do have arguments, it's easily resolved because they sit down and talk. And I feel like that's good to see, a healthy relationship that does not to have cheating and hating.
A love triangle.
Right. Like, yeah, we need that. We don't need that. We just want a healthy, cute relationship, and that's what we got. And if people are upset, well, then I'm sorry that you want relationships that are shitty, filled with drama and just not what you should want for yourself. Like, but it's not boring in any aspect. And I just applaud Iris and Barry for being one of the best couples out there.
Yes.
Yes.
Alymah, what do you think?
I think you pretty much said everything, and I agree. It's just refreshing to see a healthy couple on television, and to have a girl. I'm laughing because when I say like my OTP is West Island. Honestly, I wish I could have a relationship like that. Honestly, but I think it will be quite difficult. I'm just saying, but it's so refreshing to see just healthy couple, and like you said, no drama for just the sake of drama. So it's very it's cool.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to switch up the last question a little bit just for time. So what's your favorite West Island moment overall, and do you think the show is going to fix the West Island drought before the season ends? So we'll start with Alyssa.
Ooh, okay. You just changed the question up on me. Like
I did. I'm sorry.
Surprise.
Surprise.
So my favorite. This gonna be okay. So got one. So wait, I also got another one. Okay.
It's hard. It's a hard question, honestly.
I like the where it was in season 3, and Bay ran her to a place on that dress, and it was just so cute. And Bay, of course, had to go, but it was just that simpleness, and it was just so adorable. And
the one with the blue dress.
Yeah, and I like the one in season 2.
I loved it.
In season 2, when it was like the beginning episode, because I remember this, but I was called Barry. He dropped his whatever the shit he was doing. It was like in the lab. He dropped it.
Oh yes,
Season
2, episode 3. I remember.
I remember this, because he told Iris to jump in, and she
Yes.
really about I felt like I was about to cuss him out, because you telling her to jump. So did it, and he was out here.
And she said, "I trust you." Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he jumps off a lot of buildings for this fan.
Yes, I do.
That's trust.
I can go on and on, but you guys probably have some good moments too. Gonna let y'all say y'all's. And I feel like the writers really have to bring up the game next season, because the things they're doing to West Island this season is not it. They're going to have to bring it to the A game next season, because this is not. And at this point, I just want to say that Dawn is the only person that can save us at this point. And I conclude this statement.
Sab, what do you think?
I have 2 favorite moments. My first favorite moment is from season 2, episode 23, towards the end, before Barry created flashpoints. He was on the porch with Iris, and they were talking, and she told him, "Wherever you go, you'll always be Barry, and I'll always be Iris." And then they kissed, and then the moonlight kind of just hit him.
Yeah, that was a really cute moment.
A sense that she's telling him, "I understand that you live a certain life, and even though we are in love, I'm going to wait for you for however long it is that I need to wait, because you did the same thing for me. And that if you need to find peace and to be happy, then you should." And then my second favorite West Island moment, family moment really, is just seeing Barry and Nora and Iris sitting there,
that was
and
really
they're
cute.
smiling, and they look really cute. And despite Nora backstabbing them through narration, talking to Mr. Thon about how she needs to protect her family, yada yada, but you kind of see that she is her father's daughter. She is willing to sacrifice her happiness from her parents just to save him if she can. And to me, that was really beautiful. I liked it.
Alymah?
Honestly, it's so hard for me, because I had, in every episode, I had one favorite moment. It's very, very hard question for me. Okay. So I will maybe focus on season 5.
All right, no problem.
In season 5, episode 5.
Yep.
When they, of course, when they have this talk, I think in Starlab. I mean, of course. And Iris was basically saying that Nora doesn't want to bond with her, and she was making a parallel between her relationship with her mom and her relationship with Nora, and Barry was just there, to kind of support her. And I think it was very, very cute, because we don't really, in the show, we don't really talk about Francine and how her death and the relationship she doesn't have with Iris affect Iris. So I think it was very cute. And I had another one in the episode 12. It's when they are going, when they are in, when they were, in Nora memories. And Barry figured out that the memories was fake.
Yes.
And I like that. I think he said something like, "I have faith for both of us."
Yeah, and the faith for both of us.
Yes, and I think it's one of my favorite scenes, because we used to see Iris always supporting Barry, and to see the other way around, it's so It's so refreshing and so good. But I have so many in previous episode, but like in the 4:15 where they are about to die and basically they are saying they love each other and he's lightning bro. I have so many, so
yeah. So
yeah, okay, so I have two as well. Well, 415 is actually one of them. Where, you know, Barry made enough time to just go to everyone in general, but like the lot he wanted to spend, if this was really going to be his last moments.
Yes.
He wanted to go spend them with Iris, to just telling her how much, you know, he was in love with her, and
Right.
to me that was just really refreshing, because season 4 was kind of bumpy, and we did get some good West Allen moments in there, but overall I feel like that episode just really pulled it together, and it's just one of my all-time faves of the series. My other one would probably have to be the pilot, when Barry first walks in the jitters. That one will always be special to me, mainly just because that was the moment I became like, I don't know, I guess a fandom whore for them. But like it was also just really sweet, and like the chemistry just popped so much, and like you would really think that they were dating prior to that, but no, they were just best friends, and it was really sweet, and it was really cute, especially when she was feeling like his heartbeat or whatever, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Drea.
I'm emotional now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Drea, what do you think?
I have two.
Okay.
So the first is from season 2, and it's right before Henry dies, and Iris it's like a family dinner, and Barry is like, you know, since we're feeling confident, wow, shot, and she's like,
that was really cute.
Like, first of all, it's like the first time where we're like, West Allen is happening, but also because you have this moment where there's like everyone's in the room, but like they're the only two people in the room to each other.
Right.
And it's like this really sweet, like heartwarming moment where it's kind of just like, you're just kind of like, oh, and your heart is happy.
But then you're also like, it's about time.
Yeah.
And then the other scene is from season 1, and it's a flashback to when Barry is in a hospital after getting struck by lightning.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Screaming, crying, like, let me with him. I'm family.
Oh yes. Oh my
God. That scene broke
my
like,
heart.
Like the moment I always think of when everyone's like, what's your favorite West Allen scene? Because it just kind of gives you this idea of like how much she truly does love him. And it just breaks my heart. It makes me cry, but it's like my all-time favorite scene for them.
Yeah. For me, mine is pretty simple. I can't even remember the exact line that like preceded this, but I know like the line after, and I think it was Iris had asked him, or somebody asked him like, what about his life, and Barry answered that Iris was
You're
his
my
life.
life.
Yeah, you're my life.
Yeah, I think I remember this episode because Julian gets inspired. Yeah.
And then she was like, the lot is your life, and he was like, no, you're my life.
You're my life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think that moment is one of my favorites because it really defines how much Barry loves Iris. Like everything he does, he wakes up for Iris. He does like every thought, every action that he does, he's always thinking about Iris and how much she means to him. So I think that's really important and beautiful. And I don't know if do I have another moment? Yeah. I think my other favorite moment is their vows at their actual wedding, even though it was, it was
like the writer gets pipeline for that double wedding. No.
Yeah, the double wedding.
Still mad.
Aside from that, I think that they had some really beautiful vows, and it really encapsulated their entire childhood and their entire love for each other, and that was really beautiful. So I think, so in summary, I just think whenever Barry kind of mentions that Iris has been a part of his life for so long, that she's essentially his life force and his lightning rod, but I think that is beautiful and it really makes him special. And I just love West Allen, y'all. I hope that we get them back to where they were, who they are, and how they are supposed to be. I know that we can do it. I believe in Eric. I believe in these writers to give us what we deserve. I hope they are hearing us, and I hope that they understand that we need the things. And overall, I think that we're gonna get West Allen back if they just listen and they cooperate. We're gonna get them back eventually. Hopefully, next episode, maybe.
Eventually, because Iris got to be pregnant soon. So.
That's true. If that ever happens. But like, yeah. So I think that we'll get it eventually. And overall, that's all I want. All I want is for the West Allen back I know and love, and hopefully we get that soon. And I had a really good conversation with you guys. I know that. Yeah, we're just gonna hope and pray that they listen to us about the things that, not necessarily us in general, but like in abstract, that they listen to the fans and what they would like to see and how they can make the show better. We're always looking to make the show better.
I think they are, because today I think I saw one of the writers asking like why the criticism and why do we still watch, and I feel like our voices is being heard. And I also have an unpopular opinion. I actually didn't mind the double wedding because instead of
I didn't mind it that much either.
Honor, it was Felicity, and their little interaction was just too cute.
Yes, it was cute.
And I liked it because it kind of was a throwback to season 1 when Oliver told Barry, "Guys like us doesn't get the girl," and they got the girl.
And then they were both standing there after they got
but in their show they had a ceremony, they had a reception. We didn't have that, and I would be okay with it if they were like they priorly talk about it and say, "Oh girl, do you want to do that?" Yes, but at my friend wedding, I'm not going to interrupt her moment to say, "Hey, let's get married." Like I'm still mad about it.
I mean, I had my cons about it, but then I also had a lot of pros to it. Like I liked it, but I did dislike some things about it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
distasteful
even.
For me.
It's pretty even, pretty fair. We all have our own preconceived notions about it. But overall, we just want West Allen to be the West Allen we know and love. You know, we get that back, and that's all we can ask for to end the drought. So we can let us drink. You know, just all we need and love, and just All right, guys. So I really enjoyed this episode. We ran usually a little longer than usual, but hopefully. Because we spent a lot of time talking about Donovan, but it's okay.
And what's with that? I think we should have a whole podcast dedicated to Donovan.
I'm just saying I would listen to Alyssa talk about Dawn for an hour. I want to hear her theories.
She's so passionate, man.
Next episode, we should incorporate Caitlyn more into the conversation.
Yes.
Only because I don't want to make her fans feel like they're isolated from us or anything.
Yes.
Because I do think she has the potential to be a good character. It's
she has.
Just need
I don't necessarily
find their directions.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily hate Caitlyn's character. I have same thing. I have pros and cons.
Yeah, I don't hate her either. She has the potential to be a really good character. She has a lot of good material there. They just need to write better for everyone. Like
yes,
you said,
yes.
The
writing, it's not that.
Make that make sense, somebody.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Yeah,
true. Like we're tired to see origins, like Frost's origin every season, and it's always changing. It's rebooting all the time. I think the writer did a really, really bad job concerning Caitlyn and Killer Frost. She can be so much more, and honestly, I wanted Caitlyn and Iris to be friends, like they should have worked on it, but it's season 2, and I'm still kind of bummed that we didn't have a real apology from Caitlyn to Iris.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, I think their friendship is dead.
I think that.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I think that overall every character needs to be written better, and once we get that, I think we're gonna be okay. I think once we get season 6 with Eric, everything is gonna be great. He's gonna save us, and we'll be fine. He's gonna save us.
Just don't have any expectations so you don't get disappointed.
Yes,
I gotta say.
I hope.
Honestly, I haven't.
I have a rule with myself.
I would like the writers to give Caitlyn the Olivia treatment from On the Block. You know, She goes nicely, and we get to hear them mourn her, but she exits the show ever so nicely, and chapter close, wash our hands, say a couple prayers, and or they can have Julian come back, and she can go to
a real storyline so she can have her own life. Yeah, everyone needs real storyline. Needs to do better, writers, do better, CW, blah blah blah. Y'all know this is the deal. Do better. So I think we had a good episode, guys. I'm really happy that it turned out well, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope the people who are listening, thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Don't forget to comment on the video what you guys think. If you agree or disagree with us, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, all social medias, everything like that. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you have a wonderful weekend and come back next week for more. Where we make episodes. Well, we post episodes every Tuesday, and we hope you enjoy them. Yes, we do. We post episodes every Tuesday. So we hope you enjoy them.
Post episodes on Tuesday, guys, and I'm not trying to add in no promo, but if y'all want to watch All American, it's really good. CW, I'm not trying to add in no promo.
I'm gonna watch it, Alyssa.
I'll watch it too. I plan to watch it in the summer. So yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye, guys.